Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori and I'm here today to do an update for my Rolling Project 10 pan and Pen That Palette. This is a project that I started last summer where I have 10 items in with various usage goals. Once I complete something, it rolls out, something else rolls in, pretty self-explanatory. I also tacked on my Pan Those Palettes at the end because I'm kind of a slow panner when it comes to eyeshadow. I got the idea to put the two together from Erin Taylor here on YouTube. And if you don't already watch Erin, I highly recommend that you do, that you go to her channel and check her out. Okay, for this month, February, I have one item that is rolling out, and it is a lipstick. This is my MAC Powder Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick in Sweet Cinnamon. Now I brought this in to use 1 gram of product from January of 2024's weight. That weight just happened to be 23.71. I wanted to get to 22.71 and I finally did. And I don't have much left. That is all I have left. But rather than keeping it in to finish, I'm gonna take it out right now. I'm a little overwhelmed when it comes to lip products. I put a lot of lip products in my Beauty A to Z. So I would like to have one less lipstick to work on, but you will definitely be seeing this coming back. There went the lid. You will definitely see this coming back in order for me to finish it later in the year. Okay, now let's move to the 9 items that are continuing. The first one is my NYX Color Correcting Concealer Palette. And this is what we are currently look like. So my goal this past month has been to use the outer edges and get rid of those so that I can just start moving this way. And I have successfully done that on most of the shades. I used, from January to February, 0.31 grams. And then from February to now, which happens to be February 16th, I have used an additional 26 grams for a total so far this year of 0.57 grams. So this is just steady progress. We'll finish it sometime this year. The next item is my NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel. Now I thought this was going to be an empty, but what I did is I ended up putting some Duraline in it, a couple of drops, because it was getting a little on the dry side, and it brought it back to life. You can see I still have product in there. It just loosened everything on the sides, so it's been, I've gotten a lot more wear out of this than I anticipated. I have used this in the month of February, 0.20 grams, and so far this month, I have used it an additional 0.16 grams for a total so far this year of 0.36 grams. So it lives another month. Kind of the same situation with this one, only I haven't used Duraline. This is the IT Cosmetics CC Plus SPF 50 foundation, and I wear the shade Light. This is my Holy Grail foundation. I have it on today. I love it, but look how thin this is getting. It is finally, as of I think Friday, it is finally starting to sputter. So I'm having to sometimes go in and do 2 pumps to get 1 pump's worth. Usually when it gets to sputtering, I have a good week to 10 days of it doing that. And then I cut it open and get another week to 10 days out of what is, there's still a lot of product left in here. But I do think this and the NYX Thick It Stick It will be empties for next month. But just to give you some usage, I used up in the month of January 4.74 grams. And so far in February, I have used an additional 2.15 grams for a total of 6.89 grams. So we're getting close on this one. The next product is a fragrance. I brought in my Sung by Alfred Sung. This is an old discontinued fragrance that I used to wear heavily in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I like it best in the cold winter months, and I just want to make sure that I use it up before it goes bad. So over here, the green line indicates the washi tape was sitting on the level at the start of the year. So that to the black line is what I have managed to finish up in 6 weeks. I don't think I made a notation last month, I'm sorry. But just so you know how much I have used, in January it weighed 86.95 grams and it now weighs 84.15. So I have used 2.8 grams of products so far in the first 6 weeks of the year. I might be able to finish this winter. I'm not really sure. I probably have a good 2 more months left if I continue to use it the way I've been using it. So that may be what the new goal is going to be. But for right now, it's just the cold weather months. I may be sick of it in another month and ready to get rid of it. But for right now, I'm using it and liking it. Next item is by La Roche-Posay. This is the Gentle Foaming Cleansing Oil. This is a product that I purchased about 1.5 years ago based off of the recommendation from Dr. Dre here on YouTube. And it's taken me like 1.5 years to get to this point. It wasn't one of my favorites, so I just kept overlooking it to use other things. But I'm at the point where I'm tired of looking at it and I want to get it used up. Look how much I used. I went from there all the way down to there. And guess what? I like it. I like it so much more now that it's been the only thing I've been using. I've kind of figured out the best way to use it, and I'm really enjoying it. But when I brought this in last month, it had a weight of 175.79 grams. It now just weighs 91.4. So I have used up 83.39 grams, and with that tiny little bit left, I'm not going to have any trouble finishing this off by next month. The next product is another skincare item. This is from CosRx, and it's my Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence. But I don't use it as an essence. I use it as a serum. And this is where I was, and this is where I am now. So, good amount used. I like it, but I just kept forgetting to put it on. And this is definitely the time of year when we're in the dead of winter when this is the most effective at hydrating. But I did manage to use up 15.83 grams in the last month. So still going to take a few months to get rid of to use this one up, but I don't mind. The next item is actually a twofer. It is my mini Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium lipstick and lip liner. And I bought this, you see these in little sets at Sephora, usually in the checkout aisle. And Pillow Talk Medium works so much better for me than the regular Pillow Talk. It's what I'm wearing currently. And I have the goal is just the lipstick. I have the goal of using 0.5 gram of product. The lip liner is just a freebie in, I'll update it, but it's not where the goal of the product is. Once I reach goal on this one is also going to roll out with it. So I'm going to show you on my little diagram what I managed to use. So the lip liner, I have a little bit of usage, and the lipstick, a little bit of usage. Well, actually it's up here, a little bit of usage. So I used, of the lipstick, in the month of January, I used 0.02 grams. And so far this year, I've used 0.04 grams for a total of 0.06 gram. In other words, I'm 12% to my goal. So, doesn't bother me. I really enjoy wearing this lipstick. The lip liner actually had quite a bit more use than I expected. I keep it in the same little container that I keep my Make Up Forever Wherever walnut It is in my Beauty A to Z, and I think many a times pulling out the walnut, I actually pulled this out by mistake. But on the liner, I used up 0.20 grams in the month of January. That is a lot. So far in February, I've used up 0.01. I have made sure that it was actually the Wherever Walnut that I was using. So, nice usage on both. All right, the next item is a lip gloss. This is my K-Skin lip gloss. It's got an SPF in it. I can't remember what the SPF is. I think I've got it written down. Let me look. Yes, the K-Skin Isle Lip Balm SPF 50. And it's an Ire Rose. And the reason I'm putting this in this project is because the SPF is going to expire in April. So I have been using it. I used it a lot in January. As you can see, we're getting really thin in there. In the month of January, I used 1.24 grams. So far in February, I haven't used as much. I've only used 0.09 grams. I do have it topped on my my lips today, but I really do like this product, and I love the color. It works really well for me. And then the last item is actually the item I have decided I want to roll out. It is my Essence blush that I rehomed into my milk chocolate Too Faced bronzer packaging. This is what it looks like. It's one of my favorite blushes, but I am a little overwhelmed right now with blushes. I have 5 blushes in projects, and I decided to roll this one out. I will come back to it once I have met goal on the 2 blushes that I have in my Beauty A to Z. But once I have, when those are completed, then I'll bring this one back. But for right now, I'm not going to see any progress on those if I have this to work on, because I'm going to want to wear this one. But I did manage to use up 0.06 grams in the month of January, and I haven't used it at all in the month of February. Okay, so those are the 10 items from last month. Now let me show you the 2 items I'm going to roll in. One to replace the MAC lipstick and the other one to replace the blush. I'm going to roll in an eyeshadow out of this little palette by Give. This is GXVE, it's pronounced Give. It's Gwen Stefani's brand. And it is a little quad in Simple Kind of Life. And I'm just rolling in one shadow, and it is to finish. And it is Faithful to Freedom. It is the first shadow. So this is what mine currently looks like. And this is the shade that I want to finish. I'm currently using it to set my eye primer every day. And I'd like to go ahead and just use it, finish, get it taken care of. Probably by the time I finish it, the 3rd shade hopefully will have just as big a pan, and maybe I'll work on it next. I'm now using these 2 in my brows every day. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a dip starting in those 2, but that's not part of the project. It's just going to be this top one here. This little palette I found on an end cap at TJ Maxx for $4. It was on sale at TJ Maxx for $10, and then they had it clearanced out for $4, and I have no idea why, other than the outer packaging of the box it came in was damaged, but the actual product was just fine. So these are just $1 each, and it's kind of a boring little quad, but it's very utilitarian. I mean, I use it every day. So that is the first item. And the second is a nail polish. This is by Zoya, and it is in the shade Rue. Rue is one of their most popular just nude colors. And show you where I'm at. The gold washi tape indicates where we started 2024. The green is where we started 2025. It was just sitting on top of the line. Now, it's hard to tell, but I have already used Zoya twice. I've done 2 manicures so far this year. This turned out to be a cool toned, and I didn't realize it at the time that I bought it. And so I typically only wear cool tones now in winter. I think when it starts to get warmer, I'm going to franken this. I'm going to add a couple drops of red, which will warm it up and turn it into something similar to what I have on currently, which happens to be a franken polish. So my goal is to finish this. And even though I don't have much in there, that's probably still 5 to 10 uses, believe it or not. It's a lot of product. So I'm bringing this in, goal to finish. So that is the update for my Rolling Project 10 pan. Now let's switch to my Pan Those palettes. And I am panning an eyeshadow palette, which is my Juvia's Place The Nudes, but I'm also panning my Hourglass Leopard palette. So we're going to start with the eyeshadow palette. I have 5 shades. They don't have names. They just, I'm just numbering them 1 through 6. I finished number 2 last year, but this is what it currently looks like. I don't know how well you can see the dips. It's a little hard in some of those top 2 shimmers. But I have used this so far 11 times in January and 7 times in February for a total of 18 times this year. And when I do a look, I have it on today. I don't know how well you can see my eyeshadow, but when I do a look, I use all 5 shades. So I have managed to use up, in the month of January, 0.36 grams. And so far in February, I have used 0.07 grams for a total of 0.43 grams. So the goal is to finish. I have been I'd use this, I'd use something else. I'd use this, use something else, doing it every other time. But I'm realizing that I might not be able to finish if I do it that way. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. So what I'm going to do now is I'm trying to use this like 2 times and then something else once. Because if I was using just this, I would be bored. I want to be able to use other palettes. So, but that's where we are on this palette. 18 uses so far. Now let's get into the Leopard Hourglass palette. This is what mine currently looks like. So I don't have any pans yet. Let me show it to you from, oops, you can't see very well. I'll do it this way. The shade with the most use is definitely the highlighter. But that is what it looks like. So, whoops, let me go over my usage so far. So, in the month of January, I have used both of these the same number of times. In January, I used them 20 times, and so far in February, I've used them 11. So these two have had a total of 31 uses so far this year. The third shade, which is Mood Exposure, I used it 16 times in January, but I've only used it 9 times so far in February, total of 25. These two blushes, when I use them both. And I use them 9 times in January, and I've used them so far 5 times in February. It's the blush that I have. In fact, I have all of these products on today. I don't know how well you can see. And then my bronzer, the 6th shade, I used it 11 times in January, and I've used it 6 times so far in February for a total of 17. So my goals for this, number 1, I wanted to use up, if I can, 6 grams of product this year. That would mean I would have to use up a half a gram a month. And for January, I used up 0.51. So I did it. So far in February, and today is the 16th, I have used up 0.30. So in total, 0.81 grams. So I kind of feel like I'm right on track of where I need to be weight-wise. Another goal I have is on these 2 blushes. I would much rather use Mood Exposure or the blush I rolled out, but I want to make sure that I'm getting good usage on these 2 blushes. So I put in the goal of 5 to 10 times a month. and I was successful. I used both of them 9 times last month, and so far I'm at 5 uses for this month. So we're doing okay. But it's going to be very slow going with this. I don't have any pans to show. I think the first shade I will get pan in definitely will be the highlighter, because it's my only highlighter. I use it every day. But that is my update. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you will subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in my next video.